Welcome to a tutorial solving a problem of thermodynamics and heat transfer with SimCenter AimSim Student Edition. The problem statement displayed is seeking to evaluate the heat transfer through an exterior wall of the listed dimensions on the 4th of July in Atlanta, Georgia from sunrise to sunset. The wall will experience heat from the sun on the outside and a constant temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit for the interior. After this two-part tutorial, you should be able to utilize the thermal library to simulate heat transfer methods, how to establish materials for thermal simulations, and how to impose real environmental conditions with the thermal library. This will be part 1 of this tutorial series, which will determine how to simulate the wall without interior insulation. Moving into AimSim, one thing to note is that all the parameters and initial conditions given from the problem statement are in American customary units. To help with entering these values later, let's change the unit configuration from default SI units using the unit management tool under the configure menu. Since only this model is needing to have units adjusted for it, working within the active systems tab is best, changing the active unit configuration to the American system. Moving forward, the model can be built to what is now shown. To start, the exterior wall is represented with the thermal wall component with a port for heat transfer on either side. Port 1 on the right has a component for convection, with the fixed temperature reflecting the inside of the wall. Port 2 to the left has multiple components to reflect the heat transfer for the exterior. First is convection with a thermal port to vary temperature, and the second being a solar radiation on an opaque surface component that also has an additional thermal port. Each of these components receives a temperature value sent to their available port in the form of a converter of a signal to temperature. To make this temperature converter send the same value to each of the heat transfer components, and to have the components both exhibit heat transfer to the wall, a thermal node with 3 ports is used for both. As for the logic to provide a signal for the temperature, a function block is used that contains a formula to approximate the temperature during a day as a sine wave that is dependent on the time and high and low temperatures of that day. The independent variable for the function is time in hours, which is provided by the clock source. Unit converters are used for the input of the function, as the clock source only provides time in seconds, and on the output, as the function provides a temperature in Fahrenheit, while the temperature converter receiving this output requires an input in Celsius. For the remaining 3 components to the top left of the screen, the first is an ambient conditions component that will establish the environmental conditions depending on location and time data, and will then relay that information to the solar radiation component. The following 2 are both thermal solid properties components for the brick and drywall within the wall. The labels were placed using the insert text feature to the left, and the colors were adjusted by right-clicking and going to Set Color. And with all the needed components included, let's move to submodel mode, where selecting Premiere Submodel is acceptable. When discussing the parameters of the model, values are already entered, with any measurable or material parameter available to reference quickly here in this chart. Starting within the ambient conditions component, values within the localization folder are changed to make it so that the component will be referencing Atlanta as a location based on GPS coordinates and the time zone for the city is in. For starting date and time, the most recent 4th of July is entered, with the time being 6:30, which would be sunrise. Once complete, AimSim will simulate the position of the sun moving with the simulation time from the initial time. For each of the material definition components, user-defined materials with constant definition values are acceptable, as brick and drywall are not available by default. Values for density, specific heat, and thermal conductivity are entered. The latter 2 have units that are unable to be changed from SI. Labels for each definition are established, and make note of the solid index type, being 1 for brick and 2 for drywall, which will be how these materials are referenced in other components. Now let's check some global parameters that will be referenced throughout the model, being the lowest and highest temperatures throughout the day of July 4th, the hour the day begins numerically, the internal temperature of the building, and the wall dimensions and surface area. Now opening the function block, the expression entered relies on values for the maximum and minimum temperatures for the day to create an accurate representation of how the temperature will change beginning at the time of sunrise. The unit converters, again, will have the clock source change its input from seconds to hours, and the function output needs to be changed to be in degrees Celsius. For the external heat exchange components, the one for radiation requires the setting mode to be changed to ambient conditions and the surface area of the wall, which will be the exchange area. The inclination angle with respect to the horizontal is 90 to make the wall sit perpendicular to the ground, and the angle with respect to north is 180, as 0 would mean the area receiving sunlight is facing south. For the convection component, the majority of the parameters can be left as default, besides the width and length or height of the wall. The convection component reflecting the interior of the building is almost the same, but with the internal temperature value applied within the fluid properties. Opening the parameters of the wall component, the type of the wall establishes the number of layers within it and what makes up that layer. For this application without insulation, there will be 3 layers being material, air, and material. These layers will be numbered on the component icon and can be read from left to right, making the external brick layer numbered 1 and the interior drywall layer numbered 3. The initial temperature for layer 1 will be the initial exterior temperature, and for layer 3, it will be the internal temperature of the building. The width and height of the wall are set, and the thickness for each layer can be entered, but first must have the units of inches. The value for layer 1 for brick is as shown. Layer 2 for air is 5.5 inches to reflect the open space in the 2x6 frame, with the drywall making up the remaining 1/2 inch. For solid type indexes of the material layers, the numbers established within the material definition components are used, with layer 1 assigned to index 1 and layer 3 assigned to index 2. This covers all the needed parameter changes, so let's move to simulation mode. Before performing a simulation, the time needs to be changed to reflect the total amount of sunlight during July 4th, being about 14.5 hours. Unfortunately, AimSim will only take the simulation time in seconds, so using post-processing, this conversion can be done quickly to find the time to be 52,200 seconds. This value can then be entered through the Run Parameters window, with the number of points needing to be adjusted to decrease the size of the results file. And with that, let's run the simulation. To help evaluate the model, watch variables were used. These variables include the output of the function block, renamed external temp, the temperature and heat flow rate for layer 1, noted as brick, and the temperature and heat flow rate of layer 3, noted as drywall. Let's begin by plotting the external, brick, and drywall layers for comparison. Also, save this plot to the model to make it readily available for the second part of this tutorial. Now, compare the heat flow rates as well as saving it. With these results available, this concludes part 1 of this tutorial. Thank you.